Ladies and gentlemen, when you are disrespected, it's tempting to clap back, to lash out, to let your emotions lead. But hear me when I say this, your silence after the disrespect is what shakes them the most. Silence isn't weakness, it's calculated power. It says, I know my worth and your words don't determine it. While they expect chaos, you deliver calm. While they look for a reaction, you give them stillness. That silence is louder than any argument. Reacting gives away your power. It shows they got to you. But silence is a fortress. It's where dignity lives and where true strength thrives. You're not ignoring them because you're weak. You're ignoring them because they don't deserve your energy. Your silence makes them question themselves. It forces them to sit with their disrespect, to see how hollow their words are without your participation. They want to win your attention, but your indifference is their loss. Instead of fighting battles that don't matter, put your energy into your grind. Focus on your goals. Let your success speak so loud it drowns out the noise of their negativity. Let your growth be the answer to their doubt. The next time someone disrespects you, don't react. Don't stoop to their level. Stand tall. Let your silence echo. Because the loudest response you can ever give is the one that leaves them questioning why they even tried. Your silence isn't just a choice, it's a strategy. And in the end, it's that silence that will leave them in awe and you standing strong. Silence, in its essence, is a form of communication. It carries weight, presence, and an undeniable energy that can often speak louder than words. When someone disrespects you, their intention is usually to provoke, to elicit a reaction that validates their actions or opinions. Responding in anger, frustration, or even defense plays directly into their hands, giving them the satisfaction they seek. But when you choose silence, you take away their power. You leave them in a void where their disrespect lingers unanswered, echoing back at them with no outlet for resolution. Silence unsettles people. It creates an air of uncertainty that forces them to confront their own behavior. They begin to wonder, did their words or actions miss the mark? Were they ineffective? Did they underestimate you? This lack of clarity can be more impactful than any verbal retaliation. Words can be dismissed, arguments can be twisted, but silence lingers. It holds a mirror up to the other person, making them question themselves in ways they never anticipated. Silence is a demonstration of control. It shows that you are the master of your emotions, not a servant to them. Anyone can react, but it takes strength to remain composed, to hold your tongue when every fiber of your being wants to respond. This restraint is not just a sign of maturity, but also a clear indication that you are operating on a higher plane. You are not allowing someone else's negativity to dictate your state of mind or behavior. You're showing that their disrespect has no place in your world. And that is a powerful statement. Another profound aspect of silence is that it shifts the dynamics of power in your favor. Disrespect is often an attempt to undermine you, to diminish your stature in some way. A heated response would indicate that their attempt succeeded, that they managed to disturb your peace. But when you remain silent, you maintain your position. You refuse to engage on their terms. Your silence sends a message that you are unshaken, that their actions are beneath you and unworthy of acknowledgement. In professional settings, for example, silence can carry a particular authority. Imagine someone delivering a cutting remark in a meeting, hoping to embarrass or diminish you. If you respond emotionally, the focus shifts to the argument. But if you meet their words with silence, the attention remains on them. Their remark stands alone, exposed for what it truly is: petty, unprofessional, or insecure. Silence in such situations is not just dignified, it is strategic. It ensures that their disrespect becomes their burden to carry, not yours. Silence also provides you with time to think, time to strategize, time to decide if and how you want to respond. In the heat of the moment, words spoken in haste can escalate conflict or create misunderstandings. But silence gives you the upper hand. It allows you to process the situation and decide on the most effective course of action, whether that's addressing the issue later with clarity and precision or simply walking away entirely. Silence can be deeply unsettling to those who thrive on confrontation or drama. These individuals often seek validation through the reactions they provoke. When you deny them that reaction, you starve them of the energy they need to perpetuate their behavior. It frustrates them, confounds them, and leaves them to deal with the uncomfortable truth that their disrespect has had no impact on you. Your silence forces them to grapple with their own inadequacies, their own insecurities, without the distraction of an argument or a defense. In this way, silence becomes a weapon not of harm, but of self-preservation and empowerment. It shields you from unnecessary conflict, it safeguards your peace, and it speaks volumes without uttering a single word. Mastering your emotions is one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate. It is not about suppressing how you feel or pretending that negative experiences don't affect you. Instead, it's about learning how to channel your emotions in a way that serves you rather than controls you. When someone disrespects you, the immediate response is often dictated by emotion, anger, frustration, or even hurt. These feelings are natural, but they are not always productive. Reacting impulsively may provide temporary satisfaction, but it rarely leads to a meaningful resolution. True mastery lies in recognizing these emotions, understanding them, and choosing how to respond with intention rather than impulse. The first step in mastering your emotions is awareness. It requires you to pause and take stock of what you are feeling in the moment. This pause creates a gap between the stimulus, the disrespect, and your response. In that gap lies your power. It's the space where you regain control, where you remind yourself that you are not a victim of your emotions, but the steward of them. By naming what you feel, whether it's anger, disappointment, or sadness, you strip it of some of its power. You bring it into the light, making it manageable rather than overwhelming. Another critical aspect of mastering emotions is understanding the root cause. Often, disrespect from others triggers something deeper within us, a fear of not being valued, a worry about being misunderstood, or an old wound that hasn't fully healed. By examining why certain words or actions affect you so deeply, you gain insight into yourself. This understanding allows you to separate the external event from your internal reaction. It helps you realize that the disrespect says more about the other person than it does about you. Mastering emotions also involves reframing how you view the situation. Instead of seeing disrespect as an attack, you can choose to see it as an opportunity, a chance to practice patience, to strengthen your resolve, or to affirm your self-worth. This shift in perspective transforms what might otherwise be a negative encounter into a moment of personal growth. It reminds you that you are not defined by someone else's opinion or behavior. Equally important is the ability to release emotions in a healthy way. Suppressing feelings or pretending they don't exist can lead to a buildup of resentment or bitterness. But when you channel those emotions constructively through writing, exercising, meditating, or simply talking them out with someone you trust, you free yourself from their grip. You create space for clarity and perspective to emerge. Mastering emotions does not mean becoming emotionless. On the contrary, it means becoming so attuned to your feelings that they no longer control you. It's about being able to face disrespect, not with a knee-jerk reaction, but with grace and composure. It's about choosing your response, even when your emotions are urging you to lash out. This kind of control is not about denying your humanity, but embracing it in its fullest, most empowered form. This mastery requires practice. It's not something that happens overnight. There will be moments when you falter, when your emotions get the better of you. But each time you choose to pause, to breathe, to reflect, you strengthen that muscle. Over time, you'll find that you're less reactive, more centered, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. Mastering your emotions is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your peace is more valuable than someone else's negativity. It's a commitment to yourself to rise above, to stay focused on what truly matters, and to move through life with a calm and steady resolve. Self-worth is a foundation that must be built internally. It cannot be granted by the opinions, approval, or validation of others. True self-worth is understanding your value regardless of external circumstances or feedback. This is especially crucial when faced with disrespect, because it is in these moments that your sense of self can be tested the most. If you depend on others to affirm your value, their disregard or negativity can destabilize you. But when your self-worth is rooted in your own beliefs, no outside force can diminish it. Living with self-worth over validation begins with recognizing that your value does not come from what you do for others, how much they like you, or whether they acknowledge your efforts. Many people fall into the trap of seeking constant approval to feel good about themselves. They modify their actions, words, and even their dreams to align with what they think others expect. This chase for validation becomes exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling because it places your worth in someone else's hands. The problem with relying on validation is that it is fleeting. People's opinions are subject to change, often influenced by factors that have nothing to do with you. One day they praise you, the next they criticize you. If your sense of self is tied to their approval, you'll find yourself on an emotional roller coaster, never truly at peace. Self-worth, on the other hand, is constant. It is a steady anchor that holds you firm, no matter how turbulent the waters around you become. Disrespect can serve as a wake-up call to assess where your self-worth lies. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to internalize their words or actions, to wonder if there's some truth in their negativity. But their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. People who resort to disrespect often do so out of their own insecurities or need for control. Recognizing this allows you to separate their actions from your sense of self. It reminds you that you are not defined by how others treat you, but by how you view and treat yourself. Choosing self-worth over validation also means setting boundaries. It means understanding that you don't have to tolerate disrespect to keep the peace or maintain relationships. When you value yourself, you are willing to walk away from situations or people that undermine your dignity. This is not an act of arrogance, but one of self-preservation. It is saying to the world, I know my value and I will not allow anyone to diminish it. Building self-worth is a process that starts with self-awareness. You must take the time to reflect on who you are, what you believe in, and what you stand for. It requires you to identify your strengths and acknowledge your weaknesses without judgment. It means appreciating yourself for your unique qualities rather than comparing yourself to others. When you embrace your individuality, you free yourself from the need to conform to someone else's standards. Another critical aspect of self-worth is self-compassion. It's about being kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes or fall short of your own expectations. Too often, people are their harshest critics, speaking to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. Self-compassion reminds you that you are human, that growth comes from imperfection, and that your worth is not tied to your achievements or failures. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to strengthen self-worth. When you focus on the things you appreciate about yourself and your life, you shift your perspective from what you lack to what you have. This mindset helps you see that your worth is not contingent on external validation, but on the richness of your experiences and character. Prioritizing self-worth over validation is a choice, a decision to live authentically, to honor yourself, and to refuse to let the opinions of others dictate your value. It's about standing firm in the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are, and that no one has the power to take that away from you. Letting your actions speak is one of the most effective ways to communicate your strength, integrity, and value. Words are easy to dismiss. They can be twisted, ignored, or forgotten. Actions, on the other hand, are undeniable. They carry a weight and permanence that no argument or explanation can match. When someone disrespects you, the temptation to defend yourself with words can be strong. But often, the best response is no response at all, at least not in words. Instead, let your actions be the testament to who you are and what you stand for. When you choose to focus on your actions rather than engaging in verbal disputes, you shift the narrative. Disrespect often seeks to pull you into a cycle of negativity where words are used as weapons to provoke and demean. By refusing to participate in this cycle, you deny others the satisfaction of controlling your energy. Your actions become a declaration that you are above petty conflicts, that you are more interested in progress than in proving a point. Actions have the unique power to silence critics without confrontation. If someone doubts your abilities, there is no need to argue your case or plead for recognition. Simply demonstrate your competence through your results. If someone questions your character, No explanation is necessary. Your consistent behavior will speak volumes. People can argue against your words, but they cannot dispute the evidence of your actions. This principle applies to all areas of life, from personal relationships to professional endeavors. Imagine someone belittles your dreams or underestimates your potential. You could spend hours trying to convince them otherwise, but words alone are unlikely to change their perspective. Instead, channel that energy into action. Work diligently, stay focused, and let your achievements become the undeniable proof of your dedication and capability. When you succeed, those who doubted you will be left with nothing to say. Letting actions speak is also a way to preserve your dignity. When you engage in arguments or try to prove yourself through words, you risk lowering yourself to the level of those who disrespect you. By choosing action, you rise above. You demonstrate that your focus is on growth, not on getting even or gaining approval. This quiet confidence is far more powerful than any verbal retaliation could ever be. Actions have a ripple effect. They inspire others, set an example, and create a legacy that extends beyond the immediate moment. When you respond to disrespect by continuing to work hard, treat others with kindness, and remain true to your values, you show those around you what real strength looks like. Your actions become a source of motivation, not just for yourself, but for others who may be watching how you handle adversity. Letting actions speak also allows you to maintain your focus. When you waste time and energy trying to convince others of your worth, you divert attention from what truly matters: your goals, your growth, and your happiness. By prioritizing action over argument, you keep your eyes on the path ahead rather than getting sidetracked by unnecessary distractions. This approach requires patience and discipline. Results do not come overnight, and the temptation to respond verbally can be hard to resist. But over time, the impact of your actions will become undeniable. Those who doubted or disrespected you will have no choice but to acknowledge your strength, even if they never admit it out loud. Actions also have the power to heal and transform. When faced with negativity, responding with positivity through your actions can shift the dynamic entirely. Rather than perpetuating conflict, you become a force for progress and change. This not only benefits you, but also sets a standard for how others should behave. Letting actions speak is about prioritizing what truly matters. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are too valuable to waste on unproductive battles. Instead, you use those resources to build something meaningful, to grow, and to succeed on your own terms. By doing so, you create a life that speaks louder than any words ever could. Ignoring negativity is one of the most effective tools you can use to maintain your peace and focus. It may seem counterintuitive to ignore something that directly challenges your dignity or emotions, but there is a profound strength in choosing not to engage. Ignoring doesn't mean you are weak or indifferent. It means you are wise enough to recognize what deserves your energy and what does not. When faced with disrespect or negativity, your ability to ignore is a powerful declaration that you value your peace more than a fleeting argument or confrontation. Choosing to ignore is not about avoidance, it's about control. It's understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, and that not every provocation deserves a response. When someone disrespects you, their aim is often to elicit a reaction, to provoke you into engaging on their terms. By ignoring them, you deny them the satisfaction of pulling you into their negativity. You remain unshaken, and that composure sends a clear message: their actions or words have no power over you. Ignoring negativity also reflects self-confidence. It shows that you are so secure in your self-worth that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to argue your value or defend yourself against petty remarks, because you know who you are and what you stand for. This kind of confidence is disarming. It frustrates those who seek to bring you down because they realize they cannot affect you. It forces them to confront the futility of their actions, often leaving them to stew in their own frustration. Another significant aspect of ignoring negativity is the way it preserves your focus. Life is full of opportunities to grow, achieve, and succeed, but these opportunities require your full attention and energy. Engaging with negativity distracts you from your goals and pulls you into a cycle of unproductive emotions. When you ignore negativity, You protect your focus and direct your energy toward things that truly matter, your ambitions, your relationships, and your personal growth. This deliberate redirection of energy is a powerful act of self-respect. Ignoring also creates boundaries. It communicates to others that you will not tolerate disrespect or allow their negativity to invade your space. These boundaries are not just for them, they are for you. They help you maintain your mental and emotional well-being by keeping toxic influences at bay. When you consistently choose to ignore negativity, you set a precedent that you will not be drawn into drama or conflict. This encourages others to approach you with more respect and consideration. Ignoring negativity can be a form of silent accountability. When someone behaves poorly and you don't respond, they are left to face the full weight of their actions without your involvement. Your silence becomes a mirror that reflects their behavior back to them. Without the distraction of an argument or reaction, they are more likely to see their own flaws and shortcomings. This can lead to personal reflection and, in some cases, even change. Ignoring also protects your peace. Peace is not something that others can give you, it's something you create and maintain for yourself. By ignoring negativity, you shield your mind and heart from unnecessary stress and turmoil. You take control of your emotional environment, ensuring that you remain calm and centered even in the face of challenges. This kind of emotional resilience is essential for long-term happiness and success. There's a certain elegance in ignoring negativity. It shows that you are above the pettiness and chaos that others may try to bring into your life. It's a quiet strength that speaks volumes without saying a word. Ignoring doesn't mean you're unaware of what's happening. It means you've chosen a higher path, one that prioritizes your growth, dignity, and peace over temporary conflicts. This power to ignore requires discipline. It's not always easy to stay silent when provoked, especially when your emotions are running high. But with practice, ignoring becomes second nature. It becomes a tool you use to navigate life with grace and poise, ensuring that your energy is spent on things that elevate you rather than things that drag you down. By mastering the art of ignoring, you take control of your life, your emotions, and your destiny. Silence is one of the most underestimated forms of strength. In a world where everyone feels the need to respond, to argue, or to prove a point, the ability to remain silent can be a profound display of self-control and resilience. It takes strength to resist the urge to react, especially when provoked. Silence is not weakness, it is the power to rise above noise, to maintain composure, and to hold your ground without being drawn into unnecessary conflict. When someone disrespects you, your silence can speak louder than any words ever could. It shows that you are not easily rattled, that their attempts to provoke you are futile. This kind of response, or lack thereof, demonstrates a deep inner strength. It conveys that you are secure in who you are, and that you do not need to engage in petty arguments to affirm your value. Your silence is a statement you are unbothered, unshaken, and unwilling to lower yourself to their level. Silence reflects strength because it allows you to retain control over yourself. When you react impulsively, you give the other person power over your emotions. You let them dictate your mood, your words, and sometimes even your actions. But when you choose silence, you take back that power. You decide how you will respond, or if you will respond at all. This control is a mark of maturity and self-mastery. It shows that you are governed by your principles, not by your emotions or the opinions of others. Silence is a tool for reflection. It creates space for you to process your thoughts and emotions before taking any action. This pause can be incredibly valuable, especially in heated situations. It allows you to evaluate what's worth your energy and what's not. Often you'll find that silence is the most effective response, as it preserves your peace and keeps you focused on what truly matters. Silence, in this sense, is not passive, it is active. It is a deliberate choice to protect your energy and maintain your clarity. Silence also has the power to disarm those who seek to harm or provoke you. When someone expects a reaction and is met with silence instead, they are often left confused, frustrated, or even reflective. Your silence forces them to sit with their actions and words without the distraction of a counter-argument. It shifts the focus back onto them, compelling them to confront their own behavior. In many cases, this can be more impactful than any response you could give. There is a quiet confidence that comes with silence. It is the confidence of knowing you do not need to explain yourself to those who misunderstand you, nor do you need to justify yourself to those who choose not to see your worth. Silence shows that you trust yourself and your path. It communicates that your energy is reserved for more meaningful pursuits, not wasted on trivial conflicts. Silence also reflects resilience. It takes strength to endure disrespect or negativity without retaliating. It requires you to rise above the immediate emotions of anger or frustration and to prioritize your long-term peace and well-being. This resilience is not about suppressing your feelings, it's about channeling them constructively. Your silence becomes a shield, protecting you from the chaos that others may try to bring into your life. In addition, silence often commands respect. People are drawn to those who do not feel the need to speak unnecessarily or defend themselves against every slight. Silence can create an aura of mystery and strength, making others take notice and think twice before challenging or disrespecting you again. It conveys a sense of self-assuredness that is difficult to ignore. Silence can be a way to lead by example. In a world that often prioritizes noise over substance, your ability to remain calm and composed can inspire others. It shows that there is power in restraint, that dignity is not found in shouting the loudest, but in standing firm and unwavering. Your silence becomes a testament to your strength, proving that actions and presence can often speak louder than words. Channeling your energy wisely is one of the most important disciplines you can develop in life. Energy, both physical and emotional, is a finite resource, and how you choose to use it can determine the trajectory of your growth, success, and overall well-being. When faced with challenges, negativity, or disrespect, it's easy to become reactive, expending valuable energy on things that don't serve your goals. However, when you learn to channel your energy wisely, you take control of your responses and redirect your focus to what truly matters. Every person has a limited amount of energy each day. Whether it's mental, emotional, or physical, this energy needs to be managed effectively to maximize its impact. One of the first steps in channeling energy wisely is recognizing what deserves your attention and effort. Not everything that demands your reaction is worthy of it. There will always be distractions, negativity, or people who try to provoke you, but engaging with them drains energy that could be used more productively. By prioritizing what aligns with your values and goals, you ensure that your energy is spent where it will yield the greatest return. When someone disrespects or undermines you, it can feel natural to want to respond or defend yourself. But often these reactions are impulsive and unproductive, pulling you into a cycle of conflict that consumes your time and energy. Instead, channel that energy into improving yourself. Use it as fuel to work harder, grow stronger, and achieve the things that matter most to you. This shift in focus transforms negativity into motivation and prevents you from being derailed by temporary distractions. Wise energy management also involves self-awareness. You need to understand what triggers your emotional responses and where you tend to waste your energy. For many, this could be overthinking, engaging in arguments, or worrying about things beyond their control. Once you identify these patterns, you can start redirecting your energy toward more constructive outlets. This might mean focusing on your goals, nurturing meaningful relationships, or investing in your personal growth. Another crucial aspect of channeling energy wisely is learning to let go. Holding on to resentment, anger, or frustration over things you cannot change is one of the quickest ways to deplete your energy. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring problems or allowing others to mistreat you. It means choosing not to carry the emotional burden of situations that do not serve you. By releasing these feelings, you free up energy that can be used in more positive and productive ways. Channeling energy wisely also requires setting boundaries. Not everyone and everything deserves access to your time and energy. There will always be people or situations that try to drain you, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Setting clear boundaries helps you protect your energy and focus it where it truly matters. It's not about being selfish, it's about recognizing that your energy is valuable and treating it as such. A key element of wise energy use is understanding the power of focus. Scattered energy leads to scattered results. When you concentrate your efforts on a specific goal or priority, you magnify your impact. This means eliminating distractions and staying committed to the tasks that align with your purpose. whether it's advancing in your career, building a business, or improving yourself, focused energy produces meaningful progress. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is also essential for channeling energy effectively. Without proper rest, nutrition, and self-care, your ability to manage and direct your energy diminishes. By prioritizing your health, you ensure that you have the capacity to handle challenges and pursue your goals with vigor. Self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity for anyone who wants to channel their energy wisely. Channeling energy wisely means understanding the long-term impact of your choices. Every time you spend energy on something, you are making an investment. Ask yourself whether that investment is bringing you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. Choose to put your energy into actions and relationships that build you up, inspire you, and help you grow. Over time, these wise choices compound, creating a life that reflects your values and aspirations. By mastering the art of directing your energy, you take control of your life and ensure that your efforts are aligned with your purpose. You create a path forward that is fueled by intention and guided by discipline, making the most of the resources you have.